Let's go!
So a new Xbox just got announced. Not particularly the most exciting, considering the time frame and turmoil that of which the industry just sort of went through. And I'm assuming because GDC is happening very soon, there's a lot of dedicated time to Xbox at GDC. We're likely going to know a lot more about what the hell's happening in the next week or so. There was not much information, sadly, but I think there's enough to sort of like dissect and talk about the good and the bad of what it means, and also my hopes of what it could be. Not like it really satiates a demand that I personally have, but in terms of bridging the gap between player bases, just maybe. It's called Xbox Project Helix, and this is the only thing there is. Very mysterious, 7-second long video. What, you hate the logo? Well, I don't think it is the logo, right? I don't think that what you're looking at is the logo in itself. I think it's more about the project and what it's representing. The more information that comes up over the last few hours, the more it represents the mixing of two different things, which is the Xbox player base, a console player base, and also PC players. And we've recently had these conversations. I just got, not that long ago, an Xbox ROG Ally X, and the whole point of that was oh, this thing has Xbox branding all over it. Does that mean it can play Xbox games? That was the first question, dude, every single person had. Unfortunately, no. Unless that Xbox game is made for a PC, does this thing have an opportunity to fire up an Xbox 360 game or some shit? It does not. And it was oh, okay. So we pull up some more of the details so we can talk about it, the official words that have been said from the new CEO and stuff like that. Great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to the return of Xbox, including Project Helix, the code name for the next generation console. Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting about this more with partners and studios at her first GDC next week. This is kind of a big deal. Remember that thing we were talking about, chat? The Steam box? When the Steam box was announced, I had some high hopes of what this could possibly be, because for those that have not bridged the gap of PC gaming, even though PC gaming is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, the concept behind a Steam box that seemed really interesting to me was that, yeah, Steam OS is great. These things have existed sort of in the past, but will the new GameCube be a console that will really bridge the gap, that will prevent people from having to deal with things where their OS, their operating system, the interface regarding the whole thing will sort of ease you away from being a PC enthusiast, People want to play PC games while getting the console experience. And as much as I would say Steam OS and things like that do certainly help, they're not quite there yet. People want solutions for PC games to effectively be as plug and play as a console experience. And to be real, that just doesn't necessarily exist. We thought they were sort of going to do that with that Xbox ROG Ally thing. When you get into it, it's okay, there's some onboarding, but bro, as soon as you fire up the Xbox ROG Ally, what is one thing that immediately happens and starts taking over everything? Windows updates all over the place, bro, here and there. And it's it's doing one thing and it's also running another thing. It's so wait a minute, if I eventually just press this button, there's Windows Explorer. And I'm oh, okay, so this is just a laptop pretty much with a cool controller. It's I mean, for me, that's fine because I'm always going to be a PC enthusiast just in general. I like being able to run my things, which is why we all hate Windows 11. So when you have the Windows 11 experience severely compromising everything, that was kind of a problem. What is the best case scenario here? The best case scenario is an affordable console that bridges the gap of the PC experience with console games, that allows people that we all know exist, that don't want to have to deal with the PC bullshit and just want to play PC games like they're effectively on a console, where your console will make it able to compromise and make adjustments based on the hardware immediately. And there will have to be a lot of backend that fixes that, don't get me wrong, consideration and compatibility and all this kind of stuff. It's oh, that sounds like a royal pain in the ass. And I'm yeah, it does. It seems like a lot of effort. Has any big hardware manufacturer put that much effort into their operating system that exclusively is made to do that with all of its compatibility of a bunch of PC games and also console games? That has not happened yet, dude. The biggest deal of this is when you start talking about Xbox and PC games specifically from the CEOs, can you get a system that does that? Because yeah, there's an audience for that. Just saying to somebody, oh, just buy a PC, this is where push comes to shove. I think the more PC-like whatever this next generation console is, is, the more Windows directly associated. The more close it is to PC/Windows 11 more than anything, the less of a chance it has to make anybody give a shit. And then that comes at the compromise of also price, of making something have that higher level of compatibility to actually run a whole bunch of modern PC games in a pretty decent way. Yeah, that's going to be a big difference, right? Granted, people are like, that's just a PC though. My dude, these systems have been just PCs since the PlayStation 4 era and the Xbox One era. That's not necessarily a dig at where we are at in the industry. That is just the nature of it, dude. Like, all these consoles are just PCs now. They're not doing anything super unique from one to the other. Their controllers do something. They have something that is a little bit better, like quick resume, but still their functionality and abilities is still completely based on like PCs. It's not like we're looking at cell processors or any wild shit now. These things are doing the same thing. That being said, there's an opportunity for them to like bridge that gap. It's just that this is going to come at the expense of compatibility, man. Like, if you're going to have a console that bridges the gap between Xbox and PC games, what kind of PC games are we talking? Like, is this Steam? Is this just like Windows Store? Brother, Halo's coming out on PlayStation. Like, Xbox has almost no interest in being a console exclusive platform anymore. Based on the way a lot of people were hyping up the gaming box and all that kind of stuff that was recently just announced and does not actually exist yet. A lot of people were really hoping for something that will bridge the gap between PC players and like console players and put something all on one platform. No, we want that. It seems really hard, but mediocrity isn't going to be the thing that is going to bring any console up to the standards that we're looking for. Like, things are going to have to do some crazy shit. And it's pretty obvious that Microsoft right now is in a spot where their console hardware isn't necessarily blowing everyone's minds because they're putting their games on everything, dude. So they need to have the console that sort of like does these things, man. That is able to pull off this shit. So yeah, that's kind of my hope of what Project Helix is. The name also makes a lot of sense. Like, the Helix is an X, I get you. But the whole point of a Helix, like a double helix, like, is to bridge the gap between two different things and make them feel interchanged. Everything that they're talking about pretty much sounds like the things that we're discussing by merging these two things together, which is the PC audience and the Xbox audience. And it's like, I think I wanted that with the ROG Ally, and it was pretty much a portable PC. I think the idea, what this sets up in my head, is that an Xbox should be something that bridges the gap, makes it so that, hey, they should be the ones handling the crazy ass compatibility of shit, and maybe we shouldn't. Maybe players should not be the ones that are like ticking this and ticking that. Most people don't want that. Don't give a shit about all the little bells and whistles and ticks and buttons that are in the options menu. They specifically don't want to deal with that shit. And that's the stuff that's like fascinating. It's like, if Microsoft handles that, will it be good? And will they be able to find a way to like make that stuff good?